All right, guys. So I hope that you're all doing so well. And today we are going to be talking about text structures once again, like we've started to do since Monday. But we're going to be using what we understand about text structures and informational texts to read some articles relating to the COVID-19 pandemic. So, what we already know about informational text is that there are 5 different types of text structures that authors use when they're trying to develop their central idea. And we also know that there are signal words that we as readers can pay attention to help us to figure out what the text structures are. This is a good time for you to stop and think about what the different text structures are that we haven't that we've been working with this week. Now, how do we identify the structure of a text? The first thing you do have to do is read the text. And you know how much I love when you guys annotate. So you definitely want to annotate the text by paying attention to the type of information that the author gives us. And we definitely want to be on the lookout for the signal words that go or match with the different text structures. Then you do have to make a decision. You do have to think about everything that you know about text structure and figure and decide which one of the text structure best fits the piece. After you've done that, just go back to the text, look it over, find some details to make sure that your answer is the best possible answer that there is. If you scroll down a little bit more into the document, you will see an article that I have put here for you. Now let's try to go through this together. And as always, you can email me, call me, or text me if you have any struggles after this. Okay, here we go. New York City drops traditional grades for most students. And this is courtesy of our mayor, Mayor de Blasio. Now, this is a newspaper article from the Daily News. It was written on the 28th, which was yesterday. So it is a fairly recent article. It is also put out by the New York Daily News, which we can trust to be a fairly good source of information. It does have a photo there of our mayor with a little caption. It's really important that we do pay attention to text features. Now let's read the first 2 paragraphs here and see if we can gather any information about the structure of the text. Traditional grades will be dropped for all city public school students except high schoolers, Mayor de Blasio said Tuesday, bowing to the reality of trying to teach thousands of students deprived of classrooms and face-to-face instruction. It will be an evaluation based on a lot of the things we normally would do. School projects, assignments, writing entries, the same kinds of things we would do in person. A lot of that can be done online as well, de Blasio explained during a press conference. Now I'm going to stop here for a little bit. In this paragraph, the author is suggesting that remote teaching and learning has been posing some challenges. Just the use of the word bowing to the reality, when you bow down to something, it suggests that you are somehow defeated. Things aren't going as well as you would like, which is problematic because we all like when things go our way, right? So I'm starting to think this might be a problem and solution kind of structure, but I need to get some more evidence, right? So let's keep reading. Middle schoolers will receive 1 of 3 evaluations: meets standards, needs improvement, or course in progress. The last category is for a young person who particularly needs more time to finish the schoolwork before them. De Blasio promised online instruction would be available through the summer, but cautioned, "We don't know what summer will hold." We want to make sure the grading policy we use now fits the moment we're in now, Heisner said, adding that the new system was aimed at providing flexibility. Efforts to conduct online classes have had mixed results, with many students lacking the tech to participate. Let's stop again, right? In this section, the author provided us with information about what the criteria would be. It's not going to be A, B, and C. It's not going to be a 90 or a 75. It's going to only have 3 criteria: meet standards, needs improvement, or course in progress. This is suggesting to me that they're trying to come up with a solution to how students should be graded fairly. And it seems like they really need to do that because they need to make decisions about summer school, right? If you need to make a decision, chances are you are being faced with a problem. The author then goes on to give us the reasons for why they needed to change the grading policy, which is that we needed to have more flexibility because children are dealing with a lot of different issues as well. Let's keep going, and we're almost at the end here. The city will have provided 247,000 iPads to students who have requested them by Thursday, de Blasio said. The city is still taking requests through schools.nyc.gov and 311. So it sounds here that they are actually trying to solve the problem, or part of the problem, by providing iPads to students, because one of the issues is that students don't have access to devices. The department, let's continue, sorry. The education department is still designing options for summer school, said School Chancellor Richard Carranza, adding that the exact approach will depend on how the outbreak progresses. So now it seems like they're trying to make sure that in dealing with this problem of remote learning, they're actually thinking about what to do for summer school, which seems like it's going to become a solution to the overall problem, or a part of the problem. Let's continue. This grading policy will give us the opportunity to identify students who need additional support, he said. If some students need more time, this is the perfect opportunity to actually create that system where students get that time. New Yorkers were still divided over the new grading policy. So while it is giving us a lot of the solutions that are coming up, such as getting devices to students and adjusting the grading criteria, it sounds like there are still some problems that are out there even with the new grading policy. So I feel like this piece is definitely a problem and solution piece, or the author uses the text structure of problem and solution to talk about what's happening in the schools in regards to online learning. If you scroll down to the bottom of the document, you will see what your typical response should be, right? So I said what the central idea of the article is, which is New York City, which is school officials have decided on a new grading criteria for remote learning, and they're placing a lot of focus on students who struggle with getting the assignments completed. And we all know that has a lot to do with the students who aren't being able to get online, or they're grieving. And then the second part of the response is to talk about the structure that the author uses. The author structures the text as a problem and solution piece, and then I say what the problem is based on what I read. It says the author informs us that there are still issues with remote instruction, and there are different steps being taken to deal with grading in a fair way. So that is the problem that they're currently dealing with. I went on to give you some details from the text because I wanted to be sure that this was indeed a problem and solution. And I talked again about the use of the word bowing, as I did before. And then I talk about what they're doing in terms of making sure that students have devices to be able to work from home. So when you work on your article, you are going to be doing a similar thing. You're going to be selecting one of the articles according to your interest. You don't just have to pick one, right? If you want to read more than one, that's fine. But you are only going to have to give me a response for one. That's all you're held accountable for. When you read your article, I want you to annotate it. I want you to pay attention to the signal words. And then I want you to think at the end of the reading, what is the central idea? We practiced that last week. I think that a lot of you guys are experts at that, so I'm expecting you to be able to say what the central idea of the article is. And lastly, I want you to talk about what structure the author uses, which one of the 5 that we've studied, and give me enough detail so that I understand where you're coming from with your analysis. And I think that we're all good on this. And I can't wait to see what you guys send back and what articles you chose. I tried to give you a wide variety to match your interests, and I think I can already see which ones you guys are going to go for, so it'll be good to test those skills. Take care, bye-bye, and be safe.